Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. From the independent scene to the main event at WrestleMania, we will continue to deliver the great pro wrestling that we are able to watch week in and week out. Alright, so we are at GCW. Take a picture. This is from Saturday, 5/25, and then it'll be followed by GCW Paranoid from 5/26. Tomorrow we'll get the review of AEW's Double or Nothing Up. I haven't seen any spoilers, haven't seen anything. I've seen there's an injury with Edge. I haven't watched the show yet, so I'm going to watch that tonight and tomorrow, and we'll review that sucker tomorrow. So tonight we are worried about GCW. Take a picture. All right. This show happened in Chicago, Illinois, in the Thea Hall. We had on Thriller Plus, part of Thriller TV, their Plus subscription. It's $7.99 a month. I buy the year. Black Friday sale last year. I've done it 2 years in a row. Not only do you get GCW, you get House of Glory, which you can see the reviews right here from House of Glory. You get Revolver Wrestling. You can see those here as well. So just amazing content on there. If you've never checked it out, please do. All right, first match, we had Bang and Matthews, a team that you can Google now, because it used to be the Bang Brothers and Bang Bros, and you couldn't Google them. August Matthews, Davey Bang, taking on Injustice, Jordan Oliver, and Myron Reed. Two similar tag teams that are about the, we're just going to go generic here, the flippy stuff, which, hey, I'm partial to the Lucha Libre style. So these two teams went out there and just put on a good little match to just kind of get everybody keyed up a little bit. You had Jordan Oliver, former JCW World Heavyweight Champion, kind of doing everything that he does with Myron Reed, the high fly-in, jumps to the outside. They were able to beat Bang and Matthews in a 12-minute match. I give it 3 1/4 star. This is one of those matches you like for just to start a show. It's kind of up, it's kind of energetic. It's one of those like, okay, get you keyed up for the show. Next up, we had AEW developmental talent Megan Bayne. She also wrestles in the Northeast, part of Beyond Wrestling, Wrestling Open, that you can find on IWTV each and every week, taking on Allie Katch. A solid match. Both of these women, in their own right, are solid wrestlers. Megan Bayne is still learning, and you can see that some of her moves aren't as crisp as they should be. Her character building is, again, still just working on that, you know. No one is going to be to the level of a Charlotte Flair from the beginning. Megan Bayne has the raw ability, kind of like a Tiffany Stratton. She's young. She's 25 years old. She's been wrestling for a little bit in the Northeast. She's just kind of building up little by little. I know she's signed to All Elite Wrestling, obviously, as she grows in her career. We'll eventually probably see her on Ring of Honor, probably see her eventually on AEW television. But just, you know, you gotta go somewhere sometimes and grow. She's been doing a lot of stuff with Stardom, which is where she got on the eye of Tony Khan. But this was a good little match with Allie Katch with her. I give it 2 1/2 star. It was 9 minutes long. Okay match, nothing spectacular. Next up we had our dear beloved GM come out, Matt Cardona. The dear beloved GM stripped Blake Christian of the GCW World Heavyweight title due to the fact that Blake Christian is wrestling part of the Best of Super Juniors, and he's actually doing well. Again, I haven't watched the Best of Super Juniors yet. I'm going to watch it. But I hear he's doing well. He's won some matches, so he's got progression in the tournament like he should. But due to that, he's not able to wrestle for GCW right now, so they stripped him of the title. Matt Cardona, the GM, and his Broski Jimmy decided to make a gauntlet match at Cage or Survival in order to crown a new GCW World Champion. Joey Janela comes out. He's the #1 contender. He said, hey, this is bullshit. I earned a one-on-one match. I call bullshit. So Matt Cardona said, fine. You beat the next guy that comes out. You can have the final spot in the gauntlet match for the GCW title. Okay. Out comes Parrow. Big bad Parrow. Well, took him 8 minutes and 40 seconds, but Joey Janela was able to beat Parrow, only to get beat down at the end by Parrow, Broski Jimmy, and Microman. He still hurt. He didn't do anything. It was more Broski Jimmy and Parrow beat him down, sent him to the hospital. We don't know his status for Cage of Survival. So yes, he won. Yes, he's supposed to be in the gauntlet match for the last member of the gauntlet match, but we don't know his status because he's injured now because of at the hands of Broski Jimmy, Matt Cardona's Sergeant at Arms, and Big Bad Parrow. Well, while Broski Jimmy was out there, his opponent came. I give that match 2.25 stars. His opponent came out, Microman, the smallest wrestler in pro wrestling today, and he beat Broski Jimmy. Yeah, I'm not big on these Microman matches, especially when you're wrestling somebody like a Broski Jimmy. It's like, okay. I mean, put Microman and Hornswoggle in the same ring together, I get over that one. But yeah, Microman got the victory. Again, I give it 2.5. That's okay. So we know got some issues there with the GCW World Title, and even MLJ said this is the first time the GCW World Title has been vacant. So we don't know where we're going with this till Cage of Survival in a few days. All right, next up we had the GCW Tag Titles on the line. We had champions Violence is Forever, and they are violent. They are here forever. Dominic Garrini and Kevin Koo, two of the top strikers in professional wrestling, taking on Los Desperados, Arez and Latigo. A completely polar opposite team of high flyers, lucha libre stars, who would rather do springboards and moonsaults versus strikes. But you know what? Dominic Garrini, Kevin Koo were able to neutralize the high flying of Los Desperados. They were able to keep them on the ground, use their strikes, use their ground game. 13.5 minutes, they were able to beat them and retain their GCW Tag Team title in a 3-star match. Next up, returning to Game Changer Wrestling, we had Kylie Ray taking on Dark Sheik. For me, this match kind of fell flat. I know both wrestlers here, Kylie Ray, Dark Sheik, are both very talented. They both have their own niche in this professional wrestling business. It just kind of fell short for me. I just wasn't into this match. I don't know if it drug, because it's 14.5 minutes. I don't know if it kind of drug on, or if it was just one of those things where they didn't have chemistry. I can't put my finger on the why, but it was one of those things that's like, it was just a match. It was nothing special. It was just two wrestlers doing moves. Nothing caught my eye like, ooh, check that move out. It's not like, Violence Forever when Dominic Garrini kicks somebody, or Kevin Koo super kicks somebody, or Arez does this high-flying reverse plunge of 450 into 960, those kind of crazy shit. This was just me, Kylie Ray getting the victory there over Dark Sheik. Again, I give it 2.5. Next up, we had a very unique tag match. We had the return of Zilla, Fatu, and Nick Gage. Zilla Fatu has not wrestled all that many matches in his wrestling career. We know he comes from a Tier 1 wrestling family. He's had 12 matches. This was match 12 of his career. So he is still learning. He is still trying to find his way through this pro wrestling business. To obviously, with a Fatu last name, there's expectations on this kid that he needs to live up to, but it takes time to live up to those expectations. So the fact he is so green, they kind of been teaming with Nick Gage, which is kind of funny because they're like polar opposite style wrestlers. But you know what? If you can learn from Nick Gage, I'm all for it, because that guy is good at what he is, a god of this shit. Well, they ran into one of the top, tippy top hardcore tag teams in pro wrestling, the Rejects, John Wayne Murdoch and Reed Bennett. Yeah, if you don't watch hardcore wrestling, talking deathmatch wrestling, you may not realize all the places that John Wayne Murdoch wrestles. GCW, GPW Rise, XCP, Unsanctioned Pro. He's actually a champion. He's a champion there currently. Where else has he been recently? ICW No Holds Barred, Volume 56 was the last. Yeah, I thought he was on the show this year so far. I guess not, huh? So yeah, Generally Murdoch is a deathmatch god. I would put him right there with Nick Gage when it comes to death matches. Reed Bentley is not far behind. He is that same kind of guy as well. He's been in the chains at ICW No Holds Barred multiple times. The Rejects have wrestled quite a few tag team matches over there. He's wrestled for the title. Reed Bentley has over there. Part of H2O. He's done ICW and all of it. So they literally took it to Nick Gage and Zilla Fatu. There was a door that they broke over the head of Nick Gage that had an imprint of Nick Gage's face on it. They used the doors. They used the chairs. They broke doors and used those broken doors, made the door bridges and did all this. Bentley took Nick Gage to the woodshed. 19 minutes of just carnage. The Rejects getting the victory at the end of it. I ended up giving it 3 1/4. Overall, if you're into the deathmatch style of wrestling, which I would say I'm a connoisseur of it, I give it 3 1/4. It was 18 and a half, almost 19 minutes of just pretty good stuff. We follow that up with Danhausen versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Polar opposite of matches. That's what I love about Game Changer Wrestling. You get that kind of stuff. Speedball Mike Bailey, Danhausen. Danhausen was technically GCW World Champion, but General Manager Matt Cardona restarted the match when he technically beat Blake Christian, but Matt Cardona restarted the match. Blake Christian was able to win. Danhausen's not champion, but he went on to face Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, what made this interesting is Danhausen has these teeth that he uses. So what he does is a jar, he brings it in the ring with him with teeth in it. He dumps the teeth in people's mouth and goes like this. Well, Mike Bailey thought he would one up Danhausen, tried to open the jar, couldn't open the jar. Danhausen goes to put the spell on him, and then Allie Katch brought up on commentary a very important question. Well, Matt Cardona said there's a new rule book coming to GCW. There wasn't one beforehand. Are the teeth allowed? Are they not allowed? So we still don't know the answer to that. But Speedball wasn't able to open the jar. Only Danhausen could open the jar. Once Danhausen got the teeth jar open, he was able to get the victory. I ended up giving this match 3-star. A little less than 17 minutes. And then we had some interesting, chaosly fun. We had Mance Warner going up against the Ratty Daddy, Cole Radrick. Now, what made this match even more interesting, you had Effie and Matt Cardona and Brett Lauderdale in commentary. So now, at Cage or Survival, we got Effie versus Mance Warner in the cage. Part of Matt Cardona's rule, Effie cannot touch Matt Cardona between time this was 2 weeks ago when this match was made until Cage or Survival, or the match doesn't happen. Well, Mance Warner has been provoking Effie. I mean, he's been going as far as taking out Effie's friends, Ellie Katch, Matt Cardona, Alec Price, or not Matt Cardona, Cole Radrick. He's been taking out Effie's friends, Dark Sheik, with screwdrivers to the forehead, trying to goat Effie into reacting so Mance doesn't have to have this match. Well, he starts taking it out on Cole Ratty Daddy here. He put him through doors, hit him with chairs, went and got the ring bell, came down and hit him with the ring bell. Lucky for Effie, he didn't touch Mance or the match would be off. But you know what? Manders came out. Dark Sheik came out. Alley Cats came out. They all came out to help Cole because Mance Warner did attack him with the screwdriver. So as of right now, we still have that match at Cage or Survival with Mance Warner and Effie. this is the end all be all. Now, if he would have touched Mance Warner, not only would he not get the match, he'd be fired from GCW. So there's a lot riding on this one. So we got that all cleaned up. I give that 3 1/4 star, by the way. Mance Warner getting victory there over the Ratty Daddy. Next up, we had Gringo, Loco, and Dralistico. Now, I thought Dralistico, Gringo, Loco, it's going to be your typical Lucha Libre high-flying match. Oh, no. We took a Lucha Libre match, introduced it to hardcore, a hardcore Lucha Libre match. We had broken chairs, we had doors, we had a little bit of it all. We had Dralistico putting Gringo Loco through a door. We had chairs involved. We just had this whole, of course, Gringo Loco, not only a Lucha Libre star, he is a deathmatch star too. He's wrestled a few death matches in his career. So we had just like both. It's like, this is more weird than anything because you don't see a Dralistico doing death matches. But it was actually pretty good. I ended up giving it 3 1/2 star with Dralistico getting the victory. Not great, not horrible. Good match. Match of the night, 3 1/2 star. So overall, GCW, take a picture, was a pretty good show. Stay tuned for GCW's the review of GCW Paranoid. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Remember, Robert Sports Show, from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania, covered all right here. Don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports content.